Welcome to the Bourbon Band. I'm Phil.
I'm Julie. We're drinking whiskey in Washington. Five Sip Friday, and it is chilly out.
Chilly, it's rainy, but it is green and lush. And what more could you possibly want when you're out in the wilds of Washington State? Today it's 5 Sip Friday, courtesy of our friend Jim Lemke.
Jim!
Thank you so much, Jim Lemke, for providing what appears to be a beautiful glass of whiskey to each of us. 5 Sip Friday, we nose the glass, take 5 sips, try to guess what we're drinking, say whether or not we like it, then we find out what it actually is.
I'm just letting you know it's drizzling just a little bit, so we might get a little water in our whiskey today.
I'm ready to do this.
Let's start the weekend.
Here we go.
A long time ago, we had something like, was it obsidian? Was that what it's called, obsidian?
Obtainium?
Obtainium. And it was so distinctive. And this kind of smells like that.
There could be an obtainium
I don't
nose
know.
here. What I'm getting is a little bit of mustiness, but caramel, fruit.
Ooh, it smells muddled.
Right, yeah, it's I'm getting a lot of different things, but it's a little muddy.
And charry.
Yeah.
Muddy and charry, but I'm getting all those things too. I like it. Just like today, very muddy.
Well, I don't know. Are you ready to go for a sip?
Let's do it.
All right, cheers.
Cheers. This is different. Cigar is what I got. A heavy cigar, a heated finish. It's very cold today too.
Oh, is this hitting the spot?
This is,
What
well,
the heck is this?
I haven't had this.
So-
Cigar makes me want to think it's like a Joseph Magnus or something.
You know what? I don't hate that guess. I don't think that it's as strong as a Joseph Magnus cigar blend. Ooh, there's a lot going on here. I'm not even giving tasting notes. I'm just humming and hawing and oohing.
I just want to point out I've had 2 crazy guests already, and I like both of them.
All right, let's go to sip 2 because
Sip 2.
I'm completely blanked.
There's almost like an apricot in there. It is.
Yeah, when I say fruit, I mean it's different fruits. It's like overripe peach or something.
Yeah, something like that, an apricot or a peach. It's really interesting, and I'm having this weird look on my face. I can feel it, but it's because I'm thinking about this, because these flavors aren't very distinctly bourbon, though I do think this is
agree.
bourbon.
Do you?
I do.
I don't know. It doesn't hit me as bourbon. The closest thing that I can imagine that we've tasted similar to this recently, and it was a bourbon, was the iron root. The Texas stuff.
Oh, right.
Remember how it was so weird? We
Yeah.
couldn't really come up with flavor notes, and then all of a sudden you unloaded 500 flavor notes.
Yeah, that one was very interesting, because I remember thinking, I'm gonna like this eventually.
But I would say that there are some similarities with this and that iron root. I would say it's probably in that 115 proof range, which is what our bottle is. And some of the flavors, a little bitterness, a little muddiness, but satisfying in a way. You know, the bitterness and muddiness, you don't always think like, oh, that sounds great. This is pretty good.
I
Yeah.
don't hate the Texas guess.
Yeah, it's funky. I don't think it's a bourbon, but I also don't think it's a rye at
No,
all.
I
This
think-
is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I think it's just an interesting bourbon. The proof is really gonna throw me today because it's very cold outside, and so everything tastes just amazing.
Sip 3?
Yeah.
Here we go.
All I'm getting is that, like, I'm gonna say it's an apricot.
You know what I'm getting?
It's got a nice caramely, thick finish.
It's got a lot of caramel. You know what it is? It's reminding me of beer malt, like dry beer malt.
Yeah.
Like when you've spilled it and it's dried. And again, super sweet. I really like that. It sounds like something you wouldn't care for, but
Yeah.
from a flavor profile standpoint, just that note is actually quite satisfying, quite enjoyable. So I would say that this probably has a pretty solid barley presence, more so than rye.
And I just want to say that for some reason it came into my head this was like a cobbler. You know when a cobbler gets a little bit overcooked and it gets a little like hard and crispy on the edges, so you still get the flavor of that fruit, but it's like a little burn?
Yeah. Sip
Yeah.
4?
Sip 4, and
Here we
it's
go.
raining right now,
It's
guys.
coming down.
Oh, I can't wait to figure out what this is. There's a little powdered sugar in there now.
Boy.
Man, this is like a decadent dessert.
Yeah, it's all over the place. It goes from super bitter to super sweet.
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah, it's fruity, but it's also got a lot of wood notes to it. It's musty, but it's still got somehow brightness. Even though we're talking about overripe fruit, it's still somehow bringing a freshness to the drink. Yeah, one more sip here, and we'll think proof. But on the finish, it's lingering. There's a spice, but that is not rye spice. I don't know what that is.
I actually don't hate your Harbinger guess because it has, like you said, similarities to that. And I did say that this bottle needs to open a little bit more, and I wonder if this is what it is gonna taste like.
I mean, it's in the right neighborhood proof-wise, and I do think, we haven't had a lot of Texas stuff, but there are some telltale flavors. What I'm missing here is a bunch of chocolate. I usually get a boatload of chocolate on Texas stuff. That doesn't mean that this isn't Texas, but there's some similarities here for sure.
I'm gonna say I like my Joseph Magnus guess, though we do have a bottle at home. I've only had one sip of it. I don't know if the flavor profile matches up.
I will say the nose on this is starting to remind me of some of the more like cigar-like rum flavors that we've had.
Oh no.
Yeah, so this...
We
don't
did
you
say
dare,
you're allowed
Jim.
to throw whatever in, but...
Don't you dare throw us a rum, Jim.
All right. Is this 5?
It is.
Oh, okay, good. Gosh, I like it.
I got
This is so different.
like fresh orange on the nose
Yeah.
there. All of a sudden, that last sip, I got orange and just poured in on the nose.
Orange marmalade.
Yes. Yeah.
Well,
Because once again, it
don't
strikes you
know.
as being fresh, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh no, that's not fresh. That's sort of sweet. It's sort of bitter. This is such an interesting drink.
even if we don't get this, I'm loving the flavor notes.
Yeah, it's perfect for today. Give me your guesses. What are you thinking? Proof? Any idea where it's from? What are you thinking?
Gosh, the proof doesn't seem that hot to me,
Really?
but it's very chilly out right now. I don't hate your 115 guess. I don't think it's that hot though. So I might just go down at like a 112. It is a little bit warm. Something like that.
I'm going to stick with Texas. This is just unusual enough
Yeah.
that it doesn't remind me of anything else that I've had. The profile is screaming Texas. Definitely don't think it's a rye. I guess a bourbon. I don't know what else it would be. I mean, it's heavy barley presence. I mean, potentially like a single malt or something like that. We've been drinking a lot of those lately, but I haven't had anything that tasted quite like this. So I do think a Texas bourbon, neighborhood of 112 proof, that's going to be my guess.
I love your Texas guess. I would double down on that, but I want to like play the field a little bit. Put a little on red, put a little on black.
I don't like how excited you are to play the field.
So I don't know anything about cigar blends, but Joseph Magnus is the only one I know. So I'm gonna go with that. I don't think that's what it is. I actually think that it's Texas with you.
You're going all in on the Joseph Magnus cigar blend. I don't know what the proofs are. Ours is like 132, the one that we got.
No, then
There's
that
been a
doesn't
lot of
work.
different batches.
Yeah.
But I don't hate the idea of a cigar blend or a cigar, like a finished in cognac cask type of thing.
So then let me clarify. We'll just go, I think it's a cigar blend.
Yeah.
But I do think it's like 112, and I don't know what exists out there. I'm not usually into that kind of thing, but I'm definitely interested to know what this is.
Jim Lemke, thank you so much. Do you want to do the honors there?
Ooh, I would love to.
That train sounds like a 83 Lincoln.
Oh.
It's very strange. Speaking of specific guesses.
I know. All right, Jim, what do you got for us?
I can't wait to find out what this is.
Belconis, Texas. We're taking it.
We're taking it.
I mean, you got it, but I was pretty confident.
Yeah.
Texas single malt whiskey, single barrel, price $75, 132 proof. It doesn't drink 132,
No,
it drinks
it doesn't.
112.
Wow, 44 months in the barrel, so almost 4 years old. This is definitely the oldest Texas whiskey that we've had.
It says fruit notes of apricot.
Look at you!
Ding, ding, ding.
Wow.
Julie.
Golden raisin, peach, chocolate, coffee, spices, sweet and creamy.
132. We were way off.
Apricot. Yeah, there you go. You nailed that.
Oh, guys.
Okay, well, we whiffed on the proof big time.
But we were pretty confident this was Texas. I only didn't go Texas because I was splitting the difference.
Said the state, said it definitely wasn't rye.
Yeah.
Thought there was a heavy barley presence, single malt.
We'll take it.
That's not too shabby right there. We did great, right?
I think today was awesome.
Well, I think what happened is the rain got in here and brought the proof down for us. So that's got to be what happened because we're usually so great on proof. Well, once again, thank you so much to Jim for this sample. It was absolutely fantastic, and we're going to enjoy it for the rest of the afternoon on this cold and rainy day. And from wherever we are,
to wherever you are.
cheers.
Cheers. We did pretty good today.
Could have been worse.
I like us.